Hey, what's up guys? This is Cole with CJC Off-Road, and today we are actually addressing a question we've received a lot lately on our channel here, and that is how do we trim this 2020 Ram Mega Cab to fit the 38-inch tires? Keep in mind this doesn't apply to every build, right? So this is a very specific footage we're showing you for how we made this setup clear, right? So we also have a video for trimming for 37s. That's an entirely separate video. It is shown on a 2014 and 2018 Ram. However, the amount of trimming that is done will actually apply to the 2019 Plus trucks as well. So the reason we're actually here trimming, this truck's already been trimmed, but we actually were able to still make this thing rub a little bit on the plastic. And that's something to keep in mind when you're trimming your truck. So it's never an issue to, I'd say, under trim, but it's always an issue to over trim, right? So we try to go for the cleanest look we can without hacking up the truck. And so what we typically do is we start trimming these things, and if you find that the truck's still rubbing, we go ahead and trim some more, right? So this is actually our second time trimming this. It may not be our last. Keep in mind this is trim for primarily street usage. So my goal with this is just to be able to pull in the driveways in and out quickly without having it grab on plastic or sheet metal. You know, this is a Carly Commuters kit on this truck, so I am not planning on beating this thing off-road yet. Later on, once we install the Dominator kit, that may change. We may be actually hacking this thing some more. So some basic tools are required for trimming your truck. So you'll want to use an X-Acto knife, a torch. You'll want to use a grinder with a flat disc. So basically we're addressing two things, the inner plastic liner and the pinch weld. Keep in mind, we've seen trucks, guys who trimmed them and they went way too high. So again, as I said, it's very easy to trim a little bit, drive it, and then trim accordingly, because I'd say the goal with this is to make it look like the truck is not trimmed if possible. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and show you what we trimmed, so you can see we actually went up a few inches, basically I'd say probably 4, 5, 6 inches. Again, this is for this very particular application. If anyone wants to know, these are 5.5-inch back spacing wheels. The tires are 38 by 13.5 by 20 ridge grapplers. Basically, we're at the threshold of what this truck can fit. So once it comes time to trim the pinch weld, another thing to keep in mind is you can actually take quite a bit of the pinch weld out of it before it's really an issue. Once you start to see a gap between where the two, I'd say the two pieces of sheet metal meet, that's where you've actually gone completely through the weld. So if you're going that far with it, it may even be worth re-welding at some point. But I'd say over the years of us doing this on our own trucks, we've never over-trimmed a truck to the point where there's actually a structural issue with where the fender meets the cab. So it's something to keep in mind. But yeah, so you can see where we've trimmed it. I recommend painting. Basically, once you've cut the inner plastic liner up, there is a lot of exposed sheet metal right there. And to really make it blend in, we recommend painting it. So I'd say paint it with like a semi-gloss or satin black. It blends in really well. And the funny thing is, even though you've done a lot of cutting, it's actually very difficult to tell. Now, keep in mind, there's no one-size-fits-all for this. Every wheel and tire combination is going to be different. This is a very general guideline. But if you take your time doing it, I'd say anyone can do a great job cutting. It doesn't take much other than putting the time into doing it right. If you're looking for a full-on tutorial how to do this, we do have that video I mentioned on our channel, how to trim your Ram for 37s. That goes a lot more in depth in terms of the technique for cutting, things like that. So this is a very brief video just showing how we cleared this truck, so a lot of guys were asking. So hopefully this answers your questions and gives you guys a good look at what we did here. Again, if you guys have any questions or if there's anything we can address, feel free to reach out to us via phone, email, or leave a comment here on the YouTube channel. We appreciate you guys watching as always, and if you're looking for more similar content, feel free to subscribe, and thanks for watching.